Hello, I'm Stephanie Missas, founder of the Missas Law Practice, and this is the last episode of the four-part series on how to best develop your business in the United States. Now, this last part is going to concern intellectual property. Nowadays, intellectual property is one of the most important assets that a company has. So every company obviously has different type of intellectual property, and when we talk about intellectual property, it's important that we're not just talking about a specific document or software code or formula. Intellectual property refers to all of the assets that gives you a competitive advantage in front of other players in the same industry as you. So how do you protect that property? The first step is to run an internal audit. What an internal audit means is that you have to determine all of the intellectual property that you may have, whether it's protected or protectable, that your company may have. So this could mean that you have trademarks that are either registered in the foreign country or in the United States. It could be service marks, it could be copyrights, it could be patents, trade secrets, 3D trademarks. What you want to do is figure out those specific types of intellectual property that gives you a real advantage on your specific market, and then evaluate the cost benefits analysis to get that property protected. The ways in which you protect intellectual property is pretty simple. Talk to your counsel and come up with the strategy once you've figured out what type of assets you do have. Depending also on the company that you are and the type of industry that you're in, there are different ways to protect that intellectual property and various strategies that your company can adopt. For instance, if you are trying to protect your company internally amidst your employees, then you may want to have an NDA. But that's also the case with third parties. What type of secrets or what type of property are you trying to protect? And are those going to come out when you are negotiating with third parties outside to start a professional relationship with them? So those are the kind of things that you need to start thinking about. Then the other way to protect your property is to figure out what is protectable. And by that, I mean what you can register. And again, this is going to depend on your business needs and on your business assets. But let's say that, for example, your business does retail clothing. You're going to evaluate, is it worth for me to get a patent on that design? Design patents are very hard to obtain, and when you can obtain them, it takes a very long time. And by the time you get them, the article is probably not going to be fashionable anymore. So that may not be worth it. However, your trademark may be an important asset to protect. Your trademark is going to allow the consumers to recognize the source of the goods or services that you are selling. So it's important because that creates your reputation, that creates your goodwill, and it may be well known or known in Europe, but it has yet to be known in the United States. So you may want to protect that here. Please note also that in terms of trademarks, that the USPTO, which is the Office of Trademarks and Patents in the United States, have undergone many changes in the last few years. Namely, for foreign marks, you need a U.S. counsel to answer some of the office's actions that you receive, in French called refus provisoire. So things of that nature, you want to make sure that you're familiar with them. Again, talk to your counsel. And if you don't have one, I'll be more than happy to answer all of your questions. I look forward to meeting you in person and knowing a little bit more about your business. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to this 4-part series. Bye-bye.